But Roger Stone, first off, before we get to your big data dump and your analysis of what you've been told is going to happen tonight, and they could change things. First off, I don't know if you're able to hear it earlier, but I went over the data dump on the Clintons and the Sultan and the connections to Epstein. They're in mainstream media and the 20-plus flights, not just 16 now. And I remember you like a year ago. We got to find the clip because folks really pay attention to that. Drudge last week, linked to you bringing up Danny Williams, 6 months, or no, 9 months ago before it was in the news. Bill Clinton's illegitimate son, and saying that was going to be coming up. You said about the whole Epstein thing, and get ready, they've already failed at filing one fake lawsuit in Houston with fake names. Now they're going to file others. So this is unprecedented. You predicted all of this. I talked to you this morning at length. You said you weren't aware of all of it, but you knew it was coming. Since then, since I broke this yesterday, it's broken in a bunch of newspapers that a judge has now announced a date to hear this. So this is purely right up against the election when they won't have time to prove it either way. This is so obvious when the Clintons are the ones that hang out with this guy and he founded their foundation. I mean, am I barking up the wrong tree here, or is this the most naked, sickening, over-the-top, deceptive October surprise in the history of the galaxy?
No, Alex, I think you've got it about right. I mean, the Clintons know they have massive vulnerability. Jeffrey Epstein is a billionaire hedge fund manager, friend of Bill. The Palm Beach City Police determined that he has raped 33 underage girls between the ages of 13 and 17. We also know from the FAA records that Bill Clinton has been on Epstein's hedonistic private orgy island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We know that Epstein has given $25,000 to the Clinton Foundation, although, of course, that doesn't show on their website where they claim they are engaging in full voluntary disclosure. Ghislaine Maxwell, who is essentially the pimp who goes out and recruits underage girls in bus stations and runaways for Epstein to assault, is given immunity in his prosecution and now works for a nonprofit financed by the Clinton Foundation. She was present every time Bill was on Pedo Island. We know that Epstein, a convicted pedophile, flew Bill Clinton, a suspected pedophile, to Brunei to collect a $2 million check for the Clinton Presidential Library from the Sultan of Brunei, a known pedophile who is known to have a harem of both underage boys and girls. So what we have here is deflection. The Clintons know this lawsuit will never survive. They know it'll never even go to trial. So when people say to me, you're accusing Bill of rape, what about the rape allegations against Trump? I say, we know who's accused Clinton of rape, Juanita Broaddrick, and others, sexual assault, Paula Jones, where Bill Clinton paid an $850,000 out-of-court settlement. But those bearing witness against Trump, I would say false witness, they're anonymous. Jane Doe. This has no credibility. If you want to accuse Donald Trump of rape in a legal forum, put your name on it if you want to be taken seriously. Now, I've talked to the lawyers for the plaintiffs in the current pending Epstein case, in which some of his victims are seeking to overturn his slap on the wrist conviction, and they believe that these women do not exist. The lawyer who has represented them, at least represented them in Texas, uses different names on the phone with different reporters. He appears to be an entertainment lawyer rather than having any expertise.
This is clearly an intelligence operation, a classic cutout with fake names right before the election to be able to create the whole illusion, but then have it all fade away after the election. A total hoax.
An outrageous smear to deflect the Clintons.
Let me ask you this, because you said this a year ago, and you said if Trump was to go serious, he would release this. He knew about it all. And you even predicted they would try to go after him instead because we'd already heard rumblings and fake suits that were thrown out with fake names. Why didn't Trump go with this against him?
It's an excellent question. I must say, many times I can't explain what the Trump campaign is doing. The best thing about the Trump campaign is Trump himself.
Stay there. I'm going to come back to you to talk about this and then your info on what you have been told they're planning to do tonight. What should Trump do, A, and then B, you've got some big breaking news that I want to get into this hour when we have a lot of stations carrying us on what you were told by a high-level source is going to happen tonight at this debate that kicks off in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Well, Alex, Hillary Clinton is going to start the debate by refusing to shake Donald Trump's hand, after which Anderson Cooper will give her the first question, which will be, why did you decide not to shake Donald Trump's hand, giving her the open for an attack on Trump that relates to this tape incident, which is a distraction from the scandal-style gutter politics of the Clintons, the rotten record of corruption, and the policy failures of Bill and Hillary Clinton that have brought the country to its knees.
Sure, so let's get into this. You were told this again. Repeat to me what you told me earlier. I mean, this is huge. I mean, specifically what you were told. This is obviously a stage zinger. How do you think Trump will respond? Or by us talking about it hours before, might they back off? Roger Stone.
Well, a very high-level source in the Clinton camp doesn't perhaps realize that they have a leak, but Hillary, again, will open the debate by refusing to shake Trump's hand, and Anderson Cooper will then direct his first question to Hillary, giving her a forum to launch a personal attack on Trump regarding extraneous issues of 10 years ago, in order to deflect from the corruption, the poor health, the policy failures, and the bully boy tactics of the Clintons. Now that Trump knows about this stratagem, I have no doubt that he will be well prepared for it in any number of ways. Trump, being a gentleman, should shake Hillary's hand, despite the fact that she has virtually raped the people of Haiti, that she has raped the people of Libya, that she and her husband have lined their pockets with millions in their phony charity scam, the fact that her husband is a sexual predator, and that Hillary herself has orchestrated the terror campaign to bully and intimidate her husband's sexual assault victims into silence. You know, Alex, there's an incredible piece in today's New York Post in which the veteran Republican campaign consultant, Ed Rollins, offers Donald Trump and his campaign 6 things they must do to get the campaign on track. What's historic about this piece is Rollins is wrong about every single point that he makes, including that Trump should not bring up the issue of Bill Clinton's infidelities, his indiscretions. Could we please get this straight one more time?
It's rape.
The issue is not the Clintons' marriage. It's the brutal, vicious raping and biting of women.
And can't Trump see that he knew about Epstein and all this? We knew this was coming. He should have attacked earlier. Now they launch it, so it just sounds like he's counterattacking now.
Well, look, Trump is not a career politician. And while he has a few good people around him, he's got many a boarding party from the Ted Cruz camp. And I don't see the depth of political experience there. Now, I'm a big fan of Steve Bannon, because like you and I, Alex, you know, he can think outside the box. He understands who the bad guys are, the globalists. He has published some of the best research on the Clintons' crimes across the board, the sex crimes, the Clinton Foundation crimes, the policy crimes that have left the Middle East a smoldering, smoking wreckage, refugees, crime, and death. So I'm a Bannon fan, but only Donald Trump will decide what tactics he will use tonight. And I think in a certain sense, historically, as you know, the audience for the debate, the second debate, drops dramatically from the first, traditionally. Because of this tape incident, Donald Trump's audience tonight, I think, will be larger than the first debate. So here is an opportunity to score that may be unprecedented.
I don't want to say he's doomed with 29 days out if he doesn't absolutely have a brutal coup de grace, but now is the time to both barrels just say this is outrageous hypocrisy. Don't interrupt me, Anderson Cooper, like the last debater did 40-something times, her 6 times. Stop turning my mic off. The debate commission admitted they did it. Don't rig this. Stop scamming me and the American people. Your fraud is over. I think he's just tear into Hillary Clinton when she outrageously brings up this garbage. Now, we were given this information from our Democratic source because they're concerned about World War III and their kids. Any other tidbits from your source on this coming up tonight? Any other points we should know?
Well, look, I've got to hand it to the Clinton campaign. These folks have run numerous presidential campaigns, and they are skillful at creating diversionary non-issues, such as Miss Venezuela. I would caution Trump and the Trump supporters not to get into a discussion on extraneous issues. Stay focused on the policy failures and record of corruption and the sexual assaults and cover-ups of the Clintons, trade, immigration, jobs, and most importantly, war. Because, Alex, we are hurtling towards war with the Russians. We are provoking the Russians. We are inserting ourselves in Syria, in which neither Assad and his Russian patrons or ISIS and their Saudi patrons are friends of ours. Why would we spend American blood and treasure in such a war? Well, the Democrats want to win an election. If we have to go to war with Russia, that will be the cost.
This is classic. They've broken the ceasefire, started targeting the Syrian and Russian forces we had to deal with. The Russians have erected a no-fly zone in response to the Pentagon saying we're prepared to attack the Russians under Obama and Hillary's orders. What liberal out there would want this? This is, if Bush was doing that, I'd be calling for his impeachment. This is mad dog behavior.
Calling for a no-fly zone is madness. It's just madness. The AWACS that the Russians now have here are superior to anybody else can bring to the theater. This could spark World War III. But as long as Hillary gets elected, of course, that would be okay with the Obama administration. I was on a panel the other day with Max Boot, formerly of the Wall Street Journal. He's salivating for war. He also told the audience, creating his own reality, everything's great in America.
That's right. These neocons think that we can have a nuclear war, we're going to survive. These are insane people. I mean, it's kind of like the big movie that's out about the situation that happened with BP and the big oil spill, and with this Horizon oil rig that blew up. They knew that if you didn't dump concrete on it, would blow up. The executive said, we don't care, we want bigger profit. And the engineers said, it will blow up. And they said, we don't care, you're full of it. There's this executive insanity we're seeing, where I watched Congress 2 weeks ago going, just shoot down the Russian airplanes with missiles. They go, but then they'll attack our pilots. But the missiles don't have pilots on them. The point is they're going to attack our ships off the shore. Like, Congress is insane. Not just the Democrats. These are insane people with all these crazy right-wing neocons running Hillary and Obama. What the hell's wrong with the left?
Yeah, it's really extraordinary. Donald Trump is the peace candidate in this race. Donald Trump favors a period.
Well, that's why we got this leak from a high-level Democrat. I mean, people that have brains are really freaking out. It's like Hillary, has an H in her name for a reason. She's Hitlery. We're going to be back in 70 seconds to start the third hour. We normally do 2 hours on Sunday. We're going to go right past 10 o'clock tonight. The debate's coming up. We're covering it all. Infowars.com/show. So finishing up with Roger Stone here of the StoneColdTruth.com. We sell both his Bill Clinton's and Hillary Clinton's War on Women and the Clinton crime history being exposed, as well as the book that accompanies it, The Bush Crime Family. To have the Bushes endorsing them and to have them calling them family, and the Republican rhinos coming out and saying, we're not for Trump now, but ignoring all the crimes of Clinton. It's so transparent. The establishment is against Trump. So let's speak to that. Let's also speak to what you expect to come next if Trump follows his own gut and other people's advice, and not some of the other people's advice that wanted to be sweetie cake. They've got to know he got betrayed. He got set up. We know Hillary, through intermediaries, promised the daughters and stuff, be nice. We won't go there. She stabbed him in the back. I mean, I hope to God he gives it to her with both barrels. What would you advise Trump to do? You've got the floor. I'm going to give you 10 minutes right now.
Well, I noticed in the New York Times, in their story regarding the video that the Trump campaign released, in which the candidate sought to put his comments in the now famous Billy Bush tape, which may in fact have been doctored and kind of respliced, which I find curious, that at least one of Mr. Trump's advisors, Donald's advisors, told him that if he mentioned the Clintons in his statement, the statement would be ineffective and it would be a failure. This is about as wrong-headed as I can think. In fact, finally, we got the proper focus on the issue, which, as I've said before, is not infidelity or adultery or girlfriends or mistresses, but something far darker and more sinister: sexual assault and rape. Trump very effectively counterpunched when he essentially said, look, maybe it wasn't a great choice of words. Let's compare my words to their deeds. Let's compare my words to their actions. Now, finally, perhaps we're going to have this exchange, which I think can have a profound impact among women voters.
When I say I'm giving you the floor, brother, that's it. Because if I keep my mic on, I'll interrupt you constantly. But because you paused, let me play this clip now since you mentioned it. This is Donald Trump's apology. I think was spot on. Hey, I've grown a lot. I was behind the scenes 11 years ago. You know, he said, I've never claimed to be perfect. He's never claimed like he was some lily white guy. He's not covered it up. It's why, to me, I just don't care. I mean, quite frankly, he doesn't want America to be sold out. The globalists know it. He's a nationalist. He's got great generals advising him that exposed our government's working with ISIS and Al-Qaeda. I mean, I'm more Donald Trump than ever. The more he gets embattled, the more hyenas turn against him, the more rats turn against him, the more Republican snot-noses turn against him, the more I'm for him. That's what Democrats should know. You had it stolen from Bernie Sanders. You watched yourselves robbed. Trump's still going to win, maybe not a landslide. They want a perception he lost so they can steal it. All they're wanting is plausibility. So let's go to the little 2-minute clip of him Friday night responding. Here it is.
I've never said I'm a perfect person, nor pretended to be someone that I'm not. I've said and done things I regret, and the words released today on this more than a decade-old video are one of them. Anyone who knows me knows these words don't reflect who I am. I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize. I've traveled the country talking about change for America, but my travels have also changed me. I've spent time with grieving mothers who've lost their children, laid-off workers whose jobs have gone to other countries, and people from all walks of life who just want a better future. I have gotten to know the great people of our country, and I've been humbled by the faith they've placed in me. I pledge to be a better man tomorrow and will never, ever let you down. Let's be honest. We're living in the real world. This is nothing more than a distraction from the important issues we're facing today. We're losing our jobs, we're less safe than we were 8 years ago, and Washington is totally broken. Hillary Clinton and her kind have run our country into the ground. I've said some foolish things, but there's a big difference between the words and actions of other people. Bill Clinton has actually abused women, and Hillary has bullied, attacked, shamed, and intimidated his victims. We will discuss this more in the coming days. See you at the debate on Sunday.
Now, what I take from that, this big hoax, oh, resign, oh, 15 neocons say resign, what slime? This sounds to me like, get ready, this is going to be epic. I think he's going to tear the living hell out of her.
Well, you're exactly right, Alex, about the fact that those Republicans who have headed to the tall grass were never formed to begin with. And those who bitterly opposed his nomination, the Never Trumpers, are helping promulgate this myth. I thought that was very effective, particularly at the end, to try to refocus the campaign on the crimes and the failures of the Clintons. And if he can continue in that vein tonight with an enormous television audience, this race is still imminently winnable. The Sunshine Soldiers today were ready to jump out the windows, saying 3 weeks before an election, this is over. Over. Nothing's over till we say it is. And I know
exactly. This is total mind control. You have Bill Clinton on the rapist plane 20-something times. You have him flying to the pedophile Sultan's house. You have him settling rape cases. You got Jane Doe made-up crap. You've got this stupid thing, and the media is all hoaxing it. Like, the media has lost its power, but always after the fact, like Obamacare is free, or, you know, all these other lies, or we don't want your guns, but we are going to ban them. And now they're saying, it's all over, it's all over, it's over for Trump, it's over. So everybody goes, it's over, it's over, it's over. When Hillary, I almost want them to just steal the election and put Hillary in, because she's falling apart. Everybody hates her, and I'm just sick of this crap. Because once she doesn't have Donald Trump to stick her evil demon witch finger at, that damn witch is going to melt like the witch when a big bucket of water got thrown on her.
So I guess I can put you down as undecided. I think you just summed it up, Alex. The mainstream media is apoplectic, and they are working hand in glove with the Clinton campaign and the Democrats to create this false narrative. We've yet to see a poll, an authoritative poll, that shows any substantial shift in the electorate after this unprecedented, carefully orchestrated, planted attack on Trump. I don't think you'll have a shift of more than 3 or 4% of the vote.
I was about to say, we even have a Gallup poll where he hadn't even lost half a point in 2 days by this. I mean, I think pretty much people are decided, and I think most people are like closeted. I think some of the internal Trump folks are right. There's 5-10 points of people that are scared to say they're for Trump. I mean, I think he's going to win in a landslide. What about my statement? They're only preparing us for plausibility when Homeland Security steals it.
Yeah, this was the most outrageous single claim of the week. The Homeland Security cabinet member, secretary, and I believe one of the assistant directors of the anti-terrorism effects come out publicly and say they're concerned that the Russians will hack the election. They're reading the Clinton campaign talking points. They have no evidence. If they have evidence, send it to the Republicans on the Intelligence Committee. They're qualified to see classified information.
That's right. I mean, I forgot. They've now officially come out and said Putin is jacking with the elections with no proof, and they won't release it, and they won't tell Congress. I mean, this looks like an internal coup already happening 29 days out, Roger. So what do we do?
Well, if I were the Republicans in Congress, I would challenge those two officials.
No, they're too busy saying Trump should step down because he had locker room talk and said he, likes women.
Vote the articles of impeachment in the House and convict him in the Senate. The man's lying. There's no evidence the Russians are hacking the Jay Johnson's a liar.
We've been hacked by the New World Order. We're run by foreign banks. Did you see the Secretary of the Army, General Milley, came out on Monday? We played it all week long. And he actually says, you think Russia pulled out? You think the EU is going to fall apart? You think Brexit will happen? We'll hit you harder than you've ever been hit. He's saying to the patriots worldwide that want out of the New World Order, they're going to hit us. I mean, this is, meanwhile, they had to fire all the generals. Meanwhile, we have a patriot like General Flynn, former head of Army Intelligence and Army Intelligence, period, Defense Intelligence, saying, we've been taken over by multinationals. This is Lexington and Concord. Let's take America back. Meanwhile, this traitor is up there literally saying, you try to pull out, we'll hit you harder than you've ever been hit.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Nuremberg rallies. It had that feeling. The other thing that I think is going very well here is because the mainstream media refuses to cover the rape narrative, our T-shirts are popping up everywhere. Everywhere.
I was about to say, how would you, because it was a Friday and a half ago, it was like a week and a half ago, we had the idea, I had the idea on air. I said, they're blocking the rape allegations, they're blocking the rape settlements. I said, that's it, Roger. Everybody's got to wear your shirts in public, and to make it fun, get it in public for 5 seconds on national TV, 1,000. Get rape out multiple times on air that you believe is committed crimes, so that's your view, $5,000. I'm down to $25,000 I'm going to pay out. I'll pay out the $100,000, even though it hurts our budget. I'm going to do it. I just sent checks out Friday, and I've got more guests coming up later after you leave us who have actually done this as well. I mean, this could really domino. This could really snowball. How would you grade the success of this right now? Just as an exercise of cyber jamming the New World Order. This is beyond hacking. This is live media hacking.
You know, Alex, I've always had a very high regard for guerrilla warfare, and that's exactly what this is. If the punks at CNN, who, by the way, edited Anna Navarro's epic meltdown on TV.
You guys found the Anna Navarro when she starts screaming pussy over and over again? I forgot to tell you that. Anna Navarro, in fact, describe that.
Yeah, she is asked about the Trump's comments, and she flips out. And when she's challenged by a Trump surrogate to clean up her language, she starts screaming at the top of her lungs, pussy, 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 and they cut to a commercial. Now, when you go to the archive version of the show, they've edited that out. CNN, not a news organization, an opinion journal.
Oh, they even edit Obama and Hillary's speeches when they make a mistake. They take it out.
Yeah, it's really extraordinary. And quite clearly now with, as you pointed out, Brit Hume, the former Jack Anderson leg man, reading word for word verbatim talking points from Media Matters for America, the coup d'etat is complete at Fox. They are no longer fair and balanced. They're another cheerleader for the Clinton campaign. Now, there's a few folks there that I still like and I think are patriots. Sean Hannity, Judge Andrew Napolitano, Judge Jeanine Pirro. But the Brett Baiers, those who were following the general, fair, balanced, objective standard of Fox before the Roger Ailes coup, they're now Quislings for Rupert Murdoch.
And exactly. Nobody's saying Ailes is perfect. The point is, he was taken out for this change. The family then came out and admitted they're for Hillary. And now I watch it when I'm on the treadmill working out in the morning, and I flip back and forth. It's what CNN was 5 years ago. And of course, MSNBC is the most extreme, but CNN's horrible. I mean, they'll have fair and balanced. The host is neutral, let's say with, Hemmer, and then they'll have the Republican lady on going, oh, Hillary just stumbled. She didn't fall. Conspiracy. And the Democrat goes, that's right. Hillary can climb Mount Everest. I mean, and then the next show, it is now tilted towards Hillary, and they have the worst polls. In the Fox polls, she's always leading more than anybody.
What's interesting, Alex, is they're losing viewers every single day. Where are they going? They're going here to Infowars.com. They're going to Breitbart News.
Which is why Hillary says she's going to shut us down, the alt-right. Let's say she gets in. They're saying fairness doctrine, Federal Election Commission. They've actually announced they're coming after us in mainstream news. I mean, I can't believe the left sits there and goes, no one reads our papers, so let's just shut them down. Don't you idiots get? They'll never go to you. They hate you.
And they're boring, and no one believes them anymore. They have shredded their credibility by being stooges for the New World Order. It's over for cable television.
Listen, I've had people in public walk up to me in Austin and say, I used to like you, but why are you a homophobe or why are you racist? And I go, show me where I was said something bad about somebody who's gay or where I'm hurting black people. It's all made up. They go, actually, I haven't heard that, but I just heard you are. And it's like, listen, I'm the real liberal. I'm against nuclear war. I want lower taxes. I want you to be able to live your life. I don't want colleges to say what words to use. We're not a giant brainwashing cult. You people are under the mind control. Wake up. I mean, you're for marijuana legalization. You're a libertarian. You're involved in all this stuff. You've been against the Bushes for over a decade. It's not like we're sitting here. The Democrats have turned into like a cult of loons.
Well, name-calling is a staple of the left's bag of tricks. When they can't refute your arguments, they start to name call you. Max Boot, this punk, kept calling me a conspiracy theorist. For the next breath, he would say, Donald Trump's running down America. Everything in this country is great. Things are going terrifically. What planet does this guy live on? And he's salivating for war. They can't wait to have war. Praising the Bushes.
Look, they're demon-possessed. They're demon-possessed. I mean, something is wrong with these people. I mentioned this earlier. I got plenty of news to get to, but I'm going to go back to this. I'm watching congressional hearings where Republicans and Democrats are saying, we want a no-fly zone. And they go, Russia was invited in. We had a deal with them. We've broken the ceasefire, but if we attack Russia, they'll attack back. They go, but we have drones. And they go, but they'll attack where the drones are launched from. They'll attack. And they just go, attack. And they go, okay, give us a declaration of war. I mean, the generals are the ones restrained now from the loons that keep thinking we attack Russia. They're like Iraq or something. I mean, don't they get we're not cruise missiling Sudan here?
The other thing I noticed today among the political establishment is that Governor Bill Weld, who was running for vice president on the Libertarian ticket, has essentially announced that he's no longer supporting his running mate, Gary Johnson, who selected him. He's betrayed the delegates who selected him at the National Convention of the Libertarian Party. He's endorsed Hillary, and he's now out campaigning against Donald
Trump. And that was the plan all along.
And no question. Ambassador Weld, what deal did he make?
You know Johnson well. You ran with presidential campaigns. I liked him before when he was. I mean, I know him. I probably interviewed him 10 times in person. The last time he was here, it was like a different person. I mean, I said he acted mentally ill or crazy. Has he had a stroke, or what's going on with his tongue sticking out and not knowing any world leader and not knowing? I mean, what's going on?
I don't think the campaign has any guidance. More importantly, I can't understand how his campaign has raised. I think in the next report it will be about $10 million. Have you seen a lot of his TV commercials there in Texas, Alex?
No.
Or his radio commercials? Where's this money going? His filings with the FEC are opaque.
And by the way, he announced last week, he said, I'm going to dedicate my time to bringing on Trump now. So they're showing they're desperate. The Libertarian Party's been taken over as a kamikaze zero going into the Trump Lexington, and I'm not going to put up with it.
It's very, very sad because I think Gary Johnson's a good man. He's been betrayed by his quisling, Harvard-educated establishment running mate. Now, I like Bill Weld on a personal level. He's a highly intelligent, engaging guy, and he was a great governor of Massachusetts. He governed as a real libertarian, low taxes, low spending, support for the Second Amendment. That's not the Bill Weld who's running in this campaign for vice president. He's just made his deal in a complete example of treachery with Bill and Hillary Clinton.
Unbelievable. Well, Roger, I know you're a busy man. I want you to take 2 minutes up to finish up any other points, and then I want to invite you back after the debate is over for like 10 minutes to give your analysis of what happened. The debate is coming up in an hour and 40 minutes exactly. After 90 minutes after that, I know you got a lot of interviews coming up. Can you, when I put you on hold in a moment, tell the crew sometime after, I guess that'd be 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, that you can pop in? Is that possible?
Well, let's try to work it out. But let me say
this. And if you can't do it, then tomorrow, because obviously we got the daytime show. Go ahead.
This is very important. Again, tonight, only minutes from now, Hillary Clinton will begin the debate by refusing to shake Trump's hand, and then by prearrangement, Anderson Cooper will ask her why, setting her up for a blistering attack on Trump. Now, Donald Trump is warned. His campaign is warned. The media is now been tipped off. Let's see what Hillary does.
You know, we discussed whether you'd come on 10 minutes before the debate and do this and not tell them, and then see if they went ahead with it and not give them a chance to pull back. If we wanted personal mojo, we would just do that to say, see, we were right, she did it. But we're a shot across the bow. You know, I mean, you were on 45 minutes ago, so 2 hours plus before the debate. We're now an hour and 38 minutes out. We have given them fair warning. Do you think it's time to percolate up to their campaign?
Well, look, we're like Paul Revere. This is an early warning, and therefore it needs to be all over Twitter and Facebook. We have uncovered the plot. Anderson Cooper's in it with the Clinton campaign. CNN stands for Clinton News Network. So this debate is a fraud.
So give me the tweet, because I'm going to go to break. I'm going to tweet. Roger, I mean, do I just say Clinton and Cooper to launch, attack on Trump out of gates, or what do we say? Or Clinton?
What I would say is Hillary Clinton will refuse to shake Donald Trump's hand, and Anderson Cooper will ask her why in a setup to take down Donald Trump.
That's too long for Twitter. So we just say Hillary Clinton, insider, Hillary will not shake Trump's hand in Cooper's setup.
Works for me.
Let's tweet that right now, guys, or I'll come out there during the break. Again, Roger, when the debate's over, you already got shows lined up, or you pop back in with us?
No, I think we can work that out. I'm just, as you can imagine, it's a hectic day because I have concerned Trump supporters from all over the country calling me saying, please tell Mr. Trump not to drop out.
Yeah, 1,000+ people. 1,000 plus people, let's talk about this, spontaneously showed up at Trump headquarters begging him not to quit. He came out and told him he wasn't today. We have that clip as well up on Infowars.com. Again, they said over and over again a month ago he was going to drop out and it was all over. They keep running these hoaxes. The same media said Obamacare was free. The same media said Iraq had nuclear weapons. The same media said that Trump was for the Iraq war when we have 6 clips saying he wasn't before the damn thing. They are liars. We have Gruber saying, I met with Obama on how to deceive the public to triple their prices. I mean, hasn't the public gotten it? They have to stop believing these frickin' people.
I think the public has gotten it, but if you are a Trump supporter, you can see how you might be downhearted.
Stampeded like lemmings.
Because you read constantly that Trump is considering dropping out. Alex, let me say this and be absolutely clear. He never even thought about dropping out. He's a fighter. He's a brawler. Anybody who writes him off
He intends
now,
to fight if they try to steal it.
He's already signaled that.
We will never stop. We will never go away. We will never give in. We will go on no matter what it takes. We will defend this republic.
Amen.
I'm paraphrasing Winston Churchill. All right, StoneColdTruth.com. Get the Clinton rape shirt at Infowars.com. We are the exclusive group outside of Stone. He's the only other person selling it. I don't care where you get it. Just get out in public, wear it, get in these people's faces, break their conditioning, and point out that it is Clinton flying around with Epstein, the convicted pedophile, not Donald Trump. This is made up with John Doe filings, completely fake. Too close to the election to ever prove it one way or the other. This is incredible. InfoWarsStore.com, the Bill Clinton rape shirt, limited edition. We also have the Hillary for President shirt. Wear it. Do your own YouTubes with it. I don't care what you do. Just get, even if you're not going to do it on national TV for the prize, just get the word out. In fact, I think it's going to cascade this week. I think it's going to get even bigger this week. What do you think, Roger?
Well, I agree with you. And now that I have read that Bill Clinton is going to undertake a bus tour on behalf of his wife, it's time to introduce the official Bill Clinton rape whistle, because everywhere he goes, our people need to whistle in huge numbers.
Do you imagine 5 or 6 women in one group whistling? It'll take them an hour to get them all out. Rape, rape, whistle, whistle.
Exactly. So stay tuned. Very shortly, you'll be able to go online and get your official Bill Clinton rape whistle.
Are you going to let us be distributors as well?
We've already made a deal with your people.
Good. Well, I know you're just great with Weldon. Great. Let me just say this final thing, Mr. Revere, Mr. Roger Stone. Do you think she's disappearing in an announcement for another 20 days and is only saying she's going to do this event, and now her surrogates, Kane and Bill, are out there stumbling around, being confronted by people saying that, obviously they're involved in stuff? Do you think that's because she is so sick, or is it because they don't want her confronted with Bill Clinton rape?
I don't think she has the stamina for a campaign. Look, of course she was jacked up on something. I assume some kind of methamphetamine to, as John Kennedy was, by the way, in his
being
first
injected. He was being injected with it.
Yes, by Dr. Max Jacobson. So they managed to prop her up for one debate. She can't even keep a full schedule because her health is so bad. Now, for those who say, that's a conspiracy theory, why do we have email in which she's asking for Parkinson's medicine?
We have her.
Why?
Finally, another question. And I'm going to this tape, and I'm going to go to the studio, do 30 minutes, have another guest on, and then hand the baton for an hour to the other crew. Then I'm going to come in and cover the debate live, and then they will take over in the aftermath. I'll do 30 minutes with you, but they'll do an hour and a half after that, and take phone calls as well here on the Sunday night. Then I'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Roger, WikiLeaks. I confirm with my sources. I talked to you, so that's incredible. You have the same sources. Well, similar information that a New York lawyer threatened him. He admitted he'd been threatened. He canceled the Wednesday event, then did Skype, then backed off, said, we'll release it in 2 days. They did release it Friday. Milquetoast compared to what he said it would. He said it would, it would get her indicted. It's just more corporate stuff, more globalism, more world government, no borders. We already knew that. So we have her doing that. It looks to me like, at least so far, WikiLeaks is chickened out.
I'm not prepared to make that judgment yet. He did promise revelations for 10 weeks at the beginning of each week. Let's see what happens on Monday. The release of her bank speech is not insignificant because what it shows the American people is she says one thing in public, then she says something entirely different to her well-heeled patrons who are financing her aspirations for power.
Sure, and she badmouths her constituents.
Proving once again that she's a pathological liar.
All right, Roger Stone, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again this evening and tomorrow 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. sometime. Thank you.
Great to be here, Alex. Many thanks.
Thank you.